Marine Reacts to the USMC Officer Candidate School by Foxtrot Alpha. As always, I'm going to be leaving a link to the original video channel down in the description below, so go ahead and make sure you check them out. So with OCS, I've never ever knew exactly what it entailed really. I didn't even know what it was supposed to be initially, because I mean, I don't know if I've ever really explained this, but when I was coming into the Marine Corps, I really didn't know what I was doing. I kind of just went in and I thought it was either infantry or combat engineer in the whole Marine Corps. I thought those were the only two jobs, and then everything else was supplied by the other branches. My recruiter didn't tell me otherwise, even though I had like a high 70 on the ASVAB. But he heard I wanted infantry and put me in there. So went to boot camp and all that, and then I thought initially when I had gone to the fleet that all officers had also gone through the same exact boot camp as us. But then I heard that they actually go to OCS. Now I still didn't even know, and that if they went to a boot camp first and then went to OCS and then went to whatever else they had to do and then went to the fleet, I still didn't even understand that process. And I probably could have researched it before this video, but I wanted to get a fresh look as to how exactly it all happened. Like if it's because it says boot camp training in the actual in the actual title, so I'm assuming that OCS is their version of it. And I also saw in the description that it's in Quantico, Virginia, so not MCRD, not Parris Island. So this is specifically for officers, people who are coming in after taking some college. I don't know exactly how much. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, or if you're an officer watching this, I think you had to have at least an associate's, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but feel free to let me know down there if you actually went through OCS or just had weird experiences, because I know we all have those boot camp stories. But without talking too much more, let's go ahead and get to the actual video. But before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe. It really does help me a lot. Hit that notification bell right there, so you get notified every time I do upload. Sometimes uploading twice a day. Now I'm working on them whenever I can and releasing them some point the next day. That way at least one time a day, got a video that you can enjoy at your leisure. I really got to work on that intro. But without further ado, let's go ahead and see what Officer Candidate School, or OCS, has in store for us.
Yes, Gunnery Sergeant! Open! Gunnery Sergeant! Open!
Wait, did they have a gunnery sergeant for drill instructor? I mean, we had a gunny in our company as well. I was 2154 Golf at MCRD, but our gunny was the acting first sergeant, and I never saw anybody above a staff sergeant be a drill instructor. And typically they were the what was it called? It wasn't the head senior drill instructor. I mean, obviously this is OCS, so I'm assuming it's going to be a little bit different, and kind of just excited to see if it is somewhat exactly the same or if it's structured a little differently. Things of that nature.
Carry on, Sergeant! Yes, Sergeant!
I'm really glad I didn't go to the East Coast. Even though I went to boot camp in the summer at MCRD, we had heat, but it wasn't this dry, humid heat, which I just heard was a fucking nightmare.
Aye, Gunnery Sergeant! Aye, aye, candidates! Carry on, Gunnery Sergeant! Yes, Gunnery Sergeant! That's what he will say. You understand me? Yes, Gunnery Sergeant! So open your mouth! Aye, aye, Gunnery Sergeant! Top your lungs! Aye, aye, Gunnery Sergeant! That's aye, aye, Staff Sergeant! Ears! Open! Get over here right now!
Wait, did he just say? I think he said aye gunnery sergeant, but then he said that's staff sergeant. So I think he just fucked up the rank. Are these chairs? What's it? Oh, this little strap right here. This little strap. I mean, I wear contacts, and they give me the boot camp glasses, and they had us wear like that little strap. Damn, I forgot how really similar we all looked with the shaved heads.
Run! Get away from me! Get away from me! Get away from me!
Interesting. They had the little recruit tape. When did they all get? It is OCS. They got fucking chairs, man. um, I don't even remember how we used to. I think for us, we had our war belt, I think, and we had it in the back, if I remember correctly. And we did it, label our freaking shit, what do you call it? Our boots with the recruit tape. The way they had it, we had a. I don't even think we had recruit tape on it. We just had a Sharpie. We wrote our name on the inside and initials in the inside of the rim, which is a fucking nightmare, especially when drill instructors start throwing your fucking extra pair of boots around and you end up with one size 9 and one size 11. And I'm looking at their little go fasters here, and this guy's wearing black ones. I've never seen those. Then again, I don't know what year this is supposed to be. I would assume pretty recent.
Mark your belt right now. Sometime today. Mark it. Get out from the shot. Your mouth. Shut up. Shut the mouth. Now scream. I'm going to Sergeant. Stop moving. Say I said something. Not the ones that are moving and running their face back here. Say I said Sergeant. I said Sergeant.
Shit, what was it for us? They said eyeballs, we'd say click sir. Or they say eyeballs and we look at them and we say click sir. Or shit, I forgot some of the ditties. Oh, I'm pretty sure when they start saying them, it'll come back to me. So the ditties are slightly different. And that's what I'm talking about. They had the recruit tape on this front part of the boot.
Hey, don't blow my face! Don't blow my face! Get it right now! I'm gonna do it! Back up! Open your face! What? One and three. Half step. Stop it. Point your toe, tiptoe. That's the way I showed you, right?
Okay. I hated drill. I mean, no, you know what? I can't even say that I liked it. I just straight up did not like it. I guess I understood what it was supposed to be about, like, uniformity, being able to do something on command, like just like that, and then being able to just do things in a big group. And also, so I think it was there was a shit. I don't know who it would be. I don't know, colonel or somebody who would watch to make sure you all look squared away, and he could just look down each little row or column, and then yeah. Other than that, it's just, from what I understood, just follow orders like that. But some people there, I mean, I could drill pretty decently, but some people couldn't drill to save their fucking life. I don't even know what it was. And honestly, these sleeves they look a lot better than what we had. Definitely, those first few weeks, you really got to learn to fold them just right. Not too loose, but not too tight to where they're almost impossible to get off and actually start cutting off circulation in your arms.
But I'm seeing a huge number of candidates. It's 7 pounds, and the part goes into your head is plastic. It's not gonna hurt you. You understand that? Okay, say what?
Also, I don't care what anyone says. If you're not used to having something like being in a static type movement where you have the rifle, shit, I don't know if you can see me, but they have the rifle in their hand, right? And it's leaning up against the shoulder here. If you're not used to having your hand static like that, I thought I was pretty fit, but that shit really burns the bicep. It's only 7 pounds, like he said, but after a little while, that shit gets tired. Even just holding your hands out in front of you, which they would make us do a lot while we were online in the barracks.
Say what? Here we go. Order! Hey, go look.
Wait, did he drop it? Holy shit. Oh, God. Hey, he's gonna fucking start pushing, alright? Dude, I think we only ever had one person drop the rifle. And it wasn't even that as bad as this guy. It just kind of fell, hit the buttstock, hit the ground, but then the dude grabbed it real quick. But yeah, dude, if you mess up one little thing, they're able to catch it pretty quick, and it's pretty obvious because when everyone else is still and you see a little bit of movement, it really sticks out to like your eyes. God, that sucks, man.
Push. Go push. Yo, guys, open your face. Corey. Corey. When you punch, twist your knuckles facing that way. Aye, aye, sir. 1, 2, 3. No, come in! Aye, aye, yes, sir. Come on, got it like that. Please say aye, Gunner Sergeant. Aye, Gunner Sergeant. Thank you for acknowledging. Here we go. Punch the sword and put your body so the weapon falls and put on. And then all you gotta do is bring your hand right there. Get it. Understand me? You will scrub your hands when hand sanitizer. You understand me?
I just realized they don't have RCOs on them. I don't know if that's because of the time, like if this was a couple years ago, maybe, or if it's just different at OCS in general. There's a lot of dinky covers.
Yes, sir, Sergeant. When you get inside the first hat's jaw, you'll take your cover off, you'll fold it up neatly, put it in your right cargo pocket. You understand me? Yes, sir, Sergeant. Now, ears. Open. No, ears. Open. When you grab your tray, you'll hold your silverware in your right hand. You understand me? Yes, sir, Sergeant. When you get to the fruit, you will get fruit. You understand me? Yes, sir, Sergeant. You will get salad. You understand me? Yes, sir, Sergeant. Get up right now. Yes, sir, Sergeant. Vamos. Stop. 1, 2, 3. File it off right now. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. File it off. File it off. File it off. Let's go. Sergeant. Get it. Go. Your thumb is on your trout seam. Your palms are rolled back, and you're screaming in the top of your lungs. I said so. I just got done saying something about your covers, did I not? Yes, okay, so why do I look around and see covers still looking like trash? Face your cover with that buddy in front of you. Do we understand? As you get through the hatch, shove it deep in the right pocket.
Jesus Christ. Look at this dude. He's doing the Michael Jackson thing from shit, I forgot what song it was, but he's got like way the fuck down. I could have sworn I also saw the last guy in line have red shoes.
Let's go! Tighten it up! Say aye, sir! I don't care if you're in the jail hall, you still open your mouth! Get in there!
Somebody is truly in a bad way and is talking about suicide or having suicidal ideation.
Did they always have these? Or I think this is the first time I've seen them have the tapes on the back of here. We typically had this little cheaper thing, I don't know. We had our, you know how we have like the little pocket right here? We would attach this little, what'd you call it? Like a little ID, or it's like a little flap that you could write your name on, and then that's how they would identify us until we had our tapes on our camis, on our trousers and blouses. We never had a tape like this.
Look at the statistics. You may have guessed that the Marine Corps, by definition, is a high-risk group. Young, male, men don't actually attempt suicide at a higher rate than women do, but they are much more successful at it. And you just saw the statistics why. Men are likely to shoot themselves or hang themselves.
We saw, you heard a lot of coughing, right? Obviously, when you have a bunch of guys in one area, there's going to be a little bit of sickness going around. And at one point, we even had a guy in our platoon who, I think they managed to catch it pretty quick, but somebody had bed bugs because the nasty douche wasn't taking a shower. And you see this guy right here is falling asleep. Now, I know you're going to be not necessarily, I mean, you're tired in the very beginning because you stay up for like a day or two. because you're having to check in, process all that shit, and then that was the hardest time to stay awake. But then when you're in these classes, I don't know what it was, man. It's just you can fall asleep so easy, and like you can even see this guy right here falling asleep. I believe this guy just tried to tap him to wake him up, because like the guy back here looks like it too. I mean, if you ever felt sleepy, just take a little sip of water, or what I would do is I would start like kind of like rubbing my hands, trying to get like blood circulating a little bit just to keep me up, because you didn't want to get caught sleeping by your DIs.
In Iraq last year, young Marine calls home, talks to his wife. She says she's found somebody else. She don't want him. She don't need him. There ain't no reason for him to come home. Paraphrasing a little bit, but it was pretty close to that. Later that day, he shot himself with his own rifle.
I got a limo coming up. I gotta make this look good. Very short time. First impressions count.
The first one.
Oh yeah.
I swear I heard him say libo. Which, for those that don't know, liberty, which is you actually get your own free time. I don't think it is what I'm thinking, but... And it also looks like they're getting high and tights. Not... I mean, I don't know what phase they're in right now, but it wasn't until, I believe our last phase 3, where we actually got to get high and tights and actually got to have some hair. Trying to get that MJP hair going in.
Thank you, sir.
I will say at the very least, I mean, you might not get this with all dudes going through boot camp, or it was specifically in boot camp too. You are the most polite person to anybody, just because you don't want the DIs to find out. And it kind of carries on through SOY a little bit, at least in my experience. I don't know about MCT, but then once you get to the fleet, a lot of that shit goes out the window because, you know, fleet life, essentially. That's a whole different video.
There's some land there for you guys.
Alright,
Thank you.
I'll take it.
Alright,
The store's right there.
I'm not even going to try to make a land nav joke. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all know the consensus of a lieutenant having a compass and a map. But are they... So this is like a field trip then, right? I mean, technically, we had a field trip too, just because it ended up... I don't even know the reason behind it. We ended up going to a Dodgers game, and I think we went on our Charlies, and... I mean, it was pretty fun. I didn't even understand really why we went to it, but it was my first and only baseball game that I've been to, so that was pretty cool.
Orientate ourselves.
Wait, where are we supposed to meet at? Outside?
Right out front, yeah.
Yeah, you're fine.
So that
right
means-
out front right there.
Hey, that means we just gotta shoot straight back here.
They all literally were pointing different directions.
You'll get your briefing, then go into a simulated Higgins landing craft and see actual footage of the landing on Iwo Jima. So,
We're almost out.
How long does it take?
6 minutes.
If we're down to the last canteen of water, we share that canteen of water. If we're down to the last few rounds of ammunition, we redistribute that ammunition, because the blood that we bleed is Marine Corps blood.
It's the branding of that eagle globe and anchor on your heart that just nobody else can quite understand who hasn't been a Marine, who hasn't earned that title.
Also, that part when it says like you really don't understand unless you've gone through it. It's weird to explain, man. Like when I was in the Marine Corps, it was only 4 years, but it literally felt like I had been in it my whole life. And it brought some of the greatest people in my life. And then at the end of my contract, since a lot of us came from all different parts of the U.S., you know, end up having to split. But for the most part, I've been able to keep in touch, at least with the guys that I'm really close with. And I think that's a big thing, especially when you're getting out. As cringy or as cheesy it might seem, as far as like people wanted to take pictures together on deployment, back in garrison, or people just talking to each other consistently, it really helps you, I guess, just transition better back to civilian life, because it definitely changes a lot of things, at least in your mind mentally. And I would say one of my biggest regrets probably is not taking enough pictures, because I actually thought it was kind of cheesy to do that. But I mean, I did take some, but I really wish that I had taken a lot more.
Don't crush him. Step on top of him. Crack! Guy do the same stop. Rip! Snap! First squad. Everybody else, snap your head to the front. Here we go, squad. Check us. For real this time, check us. I'm depressed. Okay, that's not a crack. Guy do the same stop. Check us! First squad. You move forward and back. Check us. You need to pay attention.
Head and on, not head and.
Hey, during the combat course, all I ask is that you give 110% at all times. And make sure you're making a lot of noise. You understand? Yes, sir. We're here to become Marines or officers, right? Yes, sir. You're going to give 110%. You're going to adapt and overcome. You're not going to complain. You're not going to whine. You're just going to do it. You understand? Yes, sir. Are there any questions over here?
You're still going to do it, but you're more than welcome to complain about why you're doing it. Just make sure that nobody hears you, because we essentially all complain while we're doing shit. It doesn't matter what it is either.
Coming in all during the combat course. There's no question for me. Y'all good afternoon.
Put around. Put that. There you go. Go halfway. All right. Turn, and then dismount, and then go hold security.
That's pretty cool. I mean, we had all those obstacles, like a lot of obstacles. We had this one too, but I never got to try it out. I always kind of wanted to, and they got a BFA on right now, so I don't know if they're gonna do some fire shooting with blanks, which is what it's used for.
Okay.
You feeling for booby traps and mines? Let's go.
Go to the next block. Rockland next. Let's go.
Boy, good security.
Watch these guys. They're gonna do it.
Check us, maybe if you pulled your chin strap tight like I told you, your helmet wouldn't be falling off right now.
That's a whole lot of BS. Those fucking Kevlars. People still call them helmets, but I mean, honestly, the way the Marine Corps had me memorize it was Kevlar flak. Now, doesn't matter how, sometimes you tighten them as the best you can, and you've got the right size, small, medium, or large. I mean, I had a big head, I had large, and I tightened it as tight as it can be, and that shit would still fucking flip all over the place, man. It was so annoying too. And one of my buddies actually had a video of it when we were on post in Syria, and he just showed me how fucking dumb they look. So they're never going to be the right size, and I'm assuming that's just because they're mass produced.
Say something.
Let's go!
My God.
Two in the green. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Your head should be the other way. Your head should be the other way. Your head should be the other way. Toes the other direction. There you go. There you go.
Get set.
Well, 1, 2, 3, go.
1,
Say something.
2, 3, drop.
My God.
BFA on your free hand above your
Go,
head.
let's go, let's go.
Go, you're not gonna drown. Go. Lloyd, get on your back, son.
Let's go, let's go.
Get on your back with the BFA on your Kevlar. Keep a low profile, son. That's the name of the game.
I got sir.
Keep low profile. You don't get a bullet in the head.
I got sir.
Put your BFA on your. Go underneath with your free hand. Let's go!
Yeah,
I
man.
say Lloyd!
Turn around, get security. Turn around, get security.
Just like in the movie, the dog man. Run. Run. Like they do in the movie. Run! Run!
God, I'm really glad I was West Coast and didn't have to deal with fucking water, man. I would take hills any day of the day. Any time of the day.
You're low crawling all the way to the wall. Low crawl to the wall.
Your head is down.
Scared breath, sorry. Yeah.
All right, be on the field of the wall.
Do not get on your knees, man. You're still low crawling forward.
You get doing that, hey, do a condition one weapon. That team leader, get your team across
Do
the wall.
not get up, Cannon.
Let's go, team leader. Get over the wall.
Stay in the prone right here.
No problem.
Get in your back. You can't level face me.
I know you got 5 in your team.
They're not paying attention. They're television. Contact! Enemy!
So it looks like they were doing a little butterish in there. As soon as they took contact, when he said that they were tunnel vision, essentially trying to say that they're tired, they're not really in it mentally, or they're probably more thinking of, God, I can't wait for this to be over. And I've had a buddy do this. We were training during McCree, which is a week and a half field up that we did during training. And there was 2 nights in a row where we were literally moving throughout the whole night. And then maybe like a couple hours into the day before we actually stop. And then we got to run ranges and then do it again, back to back. Now, on the second night, we had our team we were the first team in the squad to be point. And we had a buddy of mine here, our team leader or senior. Then you had me. And then you had another buddy of mine who, granted, good guy, not the most physically fit. So he starts getting tired, right? And the fact that we're doing this at night, you really got to be cognizant of being that connecting, being like a connecting file in a sense, to that team behind you to ensure that the rest of the squad doesn't get split off or get lost, things of that nature. This dude starts looking down so much, and he's like literally within 5 meters of our team leader who's on his side, right? Because we're traveling in a column. Now, I know that we're not supposed to be more, like during the day, we're 15 meters apart. And then during the night, we're typically keep that a little closer, more to 5 to 10 meters, just because, you know, it's dark and sometimes the MVGs are shitty. And this dude keeps looking down. He's not looking back, so I'm consistently having to do it. Turns out somebody had twisted their ankle behind us, and then our squad leader ended up stopping that part of the squad. And I'm looking back and I'm like, holy shit, where's the rest of the squad? And then I used the little shit, I forgot what it's called, but there's like this little light, floodlight, I think it was, on the MVGs too. And I'm looking back and I'm doing this. And then I tell my team leader, Lance Corporal, I don't see the rest of the squad. Now the last guy on our team should have been doing that. So it should have been my buddy, but he didn't. And then he says, okay, we'll just slow it down a little bit, let them catch up. It's a straight shot, so they should still be able to find us eventually. So I turn around 3 times. I'm flicking the fucking floodlight. Turns out my squad leader sees it. does it back twice, and I'm thinking, okay, I saw him, now he saw me. Now, I didn't know, and I was never told that if that ever happened, that after he does those two, I'm supposed to do it back one more time, right? And then I didn't even get told, like, what was the thing after that? Do we stop? Do we keep going? Do we just slow it down? And then, so we keep going, right? And then eventually they end up catching up because we took a pause. And I'm still looking back, and I'm still using the floodlight every now and then because I'm like, I want to make sure that they can see us. All of a sudden I hear a stop, 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 stop. And I'm thinking, holy fuck, I'm about to get in trouble for something that wasn't my fault. It's our squad leader, grabs me by the flag, pulls me in, and he says, who the fuck is this? I go, I'm thinking internally, fuck. And then I just go, Martinez, Sergeant. Like, already knowing I'm about to get my ass chewed out. And then he says, didn't you realize you, like, half the squad was fucking missing? And I was like, and I explained very quickly, yes, I understand the Sergeant. I told Lance Corporal so-and-so, I'm not going to say his name. He told us to slow down. I did this. I was never really told as to what we do in this type of scenario. I figured that if you saw it, then we would just keep going, maybe go a little slower, and then you would be able to catch up. And then he ended up being pretty reasonable because no one had taught us that, which he ended up teaching us afterward. And then just said, just start fucking walking. So, like, let's keep going, essentially. So it's just kind of one of those shitty moments, and I know I kind of went off on a tangent, but I forgot what caused me to go off in this tangent. Oh, tunnel vision. So don't do it. You get your buddies fucked over like I got fucked over. But yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did he just talk about port arms? I could have sworn he just talked about port arms. So essentially, you're not supposed to talk until you're at the position of attention or if you have the rifle back down on your side. But, interesting.
This could be the most memorable event for you here. Take away. Sir, the most memorable event will be the combat course, sir. Speed and intensity was something this kid will never forget, sir. One more question to me? No, sir. Sure. Yes, sir. Come. This kid has done most of his questions answered for the other staff, sir. Okay, so your family coming too? Yes, sir. How many? About 6, sir. 6? Cousins and kids, sir. Give my regards, right, sir? 5, sir. More, sir.
Hi, how do you do? Nice to meet you.
Whoa, I'm not hearing anything. I'll tell you what, you got all these cameras. The ladies can come down here and get a picture with me anytime you want. $5 a pop. I'm only kidding.
To me.
You want to get a picture? Come on.
Beauty. Want one more?
No, that's a good. We're gonna have big lungs today, right? When they come by.
My son, this is my wife. He's graduating today.
Congratulations. Yeah. Your son and my son are both graduating today, and that's important stuff. You know that.
Oh, look at that. They're checking them. They're doing the little dovetails on the back. I remember that still. But yeah, they were checking each other out, make sure that they look good, everything's right, the belt's on right, blouse looks good, all that good stuff. Graduation ceremony. This is the time a lot of people fucking end up passing out because they're locking up their knees. It was hot during our graduation. I think we had 2 guys pass out. And it's as so I don't remember the reasoning, but they don't pick them up immediately. You know, I mean, damn, I don't even remember because I was focused on looking straight. But I've seen a couple of videos of some of them passing out, and then they kind of just wait until they get dismissed, and then they go help them. I'm assuming it's just not to disrupt the ceremony.
Forward! March!
These young men and women before us today have gone through a significant challenge these last 6 weeks. Many of them didn't make the challenge, as we all know, as I talked about the other day, but those that stand before us are ready to become Marine Corps officers. And I too am like you. I have a son, an Echo Company, and so I know that special feeling that you all have. Moms, dads, you gave us your sons, and I think we made something a little bit more with regards to putting the honor, courage, and commitment in them. Let's give them a big round of applause.
Company I, commanded by Candidate Jordan. First platoon, commanded by Candidate Badger.
I'm gonna go to the PX, get some beef jerky and some Gatorade. You down?
No, I have minutes. Did you know?
646.
Oh,
God, I remember that tucked in shirt shit. Oh, I hate it. But yeah, at the very last couple of days, everybody was writing down everybody's Facebook, phone number, any type of little contact, just because, I mean, you've been with these guys for quite some time. I don't know exactly how many weeks it was for them, but, you know, I mean, I've still got buddies to this day that I have on Facebook, have their Snap. You know, you meet a lot of great people.
Hey, bro. I'll catch you later, man. Yeah, good luck with the girl.
Thanks for being my rack mate.
No problem. I enjoyed it. Good times, good times.
That actually sucked. 6 weeks of hell, man. It was like bittersweet. Half of you were like, man, that was awesome.
6 weeks?
I was like,
no.
Why? That's horrible.
You couldn't be bothered to dress up, Chris?
He did.
Well, that was my dress up yesterday.
True, I had the wrong day. You done? You ready?
I'm done. I
Hungry?
think it's everything. I'm very hungry.
Glad it's over.
Ready for more.
Looking for the next one. Yeah.
You're lying. You are lying.
Of course, but you can't demotivate the people around you. Leadership by example.
Yeah. All right. Well, I have to go do stuff. So if I see you, if I don't,
Always next to you.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about that for a minute. Not a whole lot to say. I know this is a longer video just because I had a lot to say and could relate a lot more to these type of videos. So I'm going to keep this really short. There's quite a bit of differences. A lot more differences than I saw similarities. I mean, obviously, officers are going to have a different type of training. They're going to focus on more different things. I feel like for the most part, just boot camp in general is more or less supposed to give you kind of a little bite size of every little kind of thing that you might run into, or like depending on whatever job it may have been. And then it's more or less mainly focused, at least in my opinion, to really just change your type of mindset of doing everything, get told to do something, do it now, that type of mindset. Like really, I guess, not to, like, damn it, it's really hard to explain. Just essentially how to do things despite how tedious they may be, and just getting the job done, essentially, right? Now, besides that, damn. After seeing that, it brought so many boot camp memories from. I mean, a lot of them are really funny. Like sometimes, just one quick thing. Also, like I know I'm making a poll of little questions that I'm gonna be answering in a community post here pretty soon. But just one little thing. I remember one time we would be having us run back and forth in the fucking squad bay, and then they keep saying we don't have time for this shit. We don't have time for this, and then we just started laughing kind of to ourselves, thinking like, why are we doing all this stupid shit then if we gotta be somewhere else? It's just like little moments like that were really funny to me. And then there was moments like they make you chug a canteen every night, and then obviously you gotta go take a piss. You got people who are like doing the little jumpy legs trying to hold in their piss, and then you got people who are just can't hold it and they end up pissing in the canteen and then reusing it obviously after they watch it. But fuck it, I never did it. I had people steal my damn fucking shower shoes, which is insanely annoying, especially when I didn't have a spare. Luckily my rec mate helped me out one day, and then that's when I ended up buying like a little bit extra of everything, including shower shoes, in case that ever did happen again. And I believe I had a video also of 10 uncommon tips that you don't really hear about boot camp. But yeah, man, just so many stories. Kind of wonder what my rec mate's up to these days. But in any case, that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, really does help me a lot. Hit that dislike button if you didn't like it. It helps me improve the channel. If you're curious to see what's coming up next, hit the description down below. You're gonna see a list of about 5 videos. Top to bottom's gonna be how I view them. But until then, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.